Before we begin today's story, take a moment to subscribe to LA's Listening Lounge, where every story reminds us that the truth always finds its way to the light. Today's story is called She Thought It Was a Brand Deal. She was a social media superstar with millions of followers, luxury sponsorships, and a baby on the way. When an anonymous company offered to sponsor the extravagant baby shower of her dreams, she thought her career had reached a new level. But some invitations aren't sent to celebrate you, some are sent to reveal the truth. What happens when the mysterious sponsor turns out to be the wife of the man who promised them both forever? Grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's step inside today's story. And remember, sometimes the biggest blessing comes disguised as your greatest embarrassment. Now, let's begin. Chapter 1. The Perfect Influencer. If there was one thing 28-year-old Nia Brooks understood, it was how to hold attention. With nearly 2 million followers across her social media platforms, every post she made drew thousands of comments. Brands competed for her endorsements, and companies paid her thousands of dollars to smile beside products she barely used. From the outside, her life looked flawless. Luxury vacations, designer handbags, private dinners, a penthouse apartment overlooking the city, and now, a baby. Nia had recently announced she was 6 months pregnant. Her followers flooded her pages with congratulations. What they did not know was that the father of her child was married. His name was Marcus Whitfield, a successful real estate developer, 42 years old, handsome, wealthy, and supposedly trapped in an unhappy marriage. At least that was the story he had been telling Nia for almost 2 years. "My wife and I are basically roommates," Marcus often told her. "We haven't been happy for years. We're only together because of business. We're working through a separation," he said. Every excuse sounded believable, until it wasn't. Still, Nia chose not to question him too closely. Not when he bought her expensive gifts. Not when he paid her rent. Not when he promised they would eventually become a family. So when she announced her pregnancy online, she fully expected Marcus to finally leave his wife. Instead, weeks passed. Nothing changed. And while Nia waited for Marcus to keep his promises, another woman was quietly preparing to reveal the truth. His wife, Vanessa Whitfield. Chapter 2. The Wife Who Knew Everything. Vanessa Whitfield wasn't foolish, she wasn't blind, and she certainly wasn't surprised. The affair had been going on for nearly 2 years. She had discovered it 18 months earlier. Most women would have confronted their husband immediately. Vanessa didn't. Instead, she watched. She gathered information. Screenshots, receipts, videos, messages. By the time Marcus realized she knew about Nia, Vanessa already possessed enough evidence to destroy him. But Vanessa was not interested in revenge alone. Not yet. First, she wanted clarity. She wanted to know whether Nia was cruel, careless, or caught in the same web of lies. Eventually, the answer came one evening when she overheard Marcus speaking to Nia on speakerphone. The conversation lasted less than 5 minutes, but it told Vanessa everything. Nia wasn't just a mistress. She genuinely believed Marcus would leave his wife, and now she was carrying his child. Vanessa should have hated her. Instead, she almost felt sorry for her. Almost. Because while Nia wasn't responsible for Marcus's vows, she certainly wasn't innocent. The influencer had spent months posting captions about manifesting the life you deserve. Meanwhile, she was building her happiness on another woman's heartbreak. Then one morning, Vanessa saw something that made her laugh. Nia posted a video announcing she was looking for sponsors for her baby shower. "I want something elegant and unforgettable," she told her followers. "A luxury experience." Vanessa smiled. Then she picked up her phone and made a call. Chapter 3. The Mysterious Sponsor. 3 weeks later, Nia received an email. The sender claimed to represent a luxury baby products brand. The company wanted to sponsor her baby shower. Completely free, venue, decorations, food, photography, everything. Nia nearly screamed. "This is huge," she told her assistant. At first glance, the contract looked legitimate. The branding was professional. The budget exceeded $50,000. It was the kind of event influencers dreamed about. Within hours, she signed the agreement. The mysterious sponsor requested complete creative control. That didn't bother Nia. Brands often preferred handling the details themselves. Besides, they had promised her something unforgettable, and they delivered. The venue was breathtaking. Crystal chandeliers, white roses, gold accents, custom decorations, professional lighting, a red carpet. It looked less like a baby shower and more like a red carpet celebration. Social media creators filled the room. Local reporters arrived. Business leaders attended. Everyone wanted content. Everyone wanted pictures. Everyone wanted access. Nia stood at the center of it all, wearing a flowing ivory maternity gown. She felt like royalty. Exactly as Vanessa intended, because upstairs, in a private suite overlooking the ballroom, Vanessa Whitfield was watching every moment unfold, waiting patiently for the perfect moment and the surprise guest. Chapter 4. The Toast. By the time dessert was served, the room buzzed with excitement. Guests filmed everything. Influencers live streamed from every corner. Nia couldn't stop smiling. "This is literally the best day of my life," she told her followers. Then the event coordinator approached the stage. She tapped the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen, before we conclude today's celebration, our sponsor would like to share a few words." Applause erupted. Nia clapped enthusiastically. She could not wait to meet the executive responsible for such an incredible event. The coordinator smiled. "Our sponsor wishes to remain anonymous no longer." The ballroom doors opened. Every head turned. A tall, elegant woman wearing a navy blue dress walked inside. Her posture was confident, her smile was calm, and the moment Marcus saw her, every bit of color left his face. Vanessa Whitfield, his wife. Nia stared. Marcus froze. Vanessa walked to the stage as if she owned the building, which technically she did, because the venue belonged to a company she co-owned with her husband. The microphone squealed softly. Then Vanessa spoke. "Good afternoon, everyone." The room went silent. "I want to thank you all for joining us today." Nia looked confused. Marcus looked terrified. Vanessa continued. "I've enjoyed helping organize this celebration." The confusion deepened. Then she smiled directly at Nia. "And as Marcus Whitfield's wife, I thought it was only right to properly welcome the mother of my husband's newest child." Gasps exploded throughout the room. Phones immediately rose into the air. People began recording. Marcus nearly fell out of his chair. Nia's smile vanished. "What did she just say?" someone whispered. Vanessa looked around the room. "Oh, did everyone not know?" The silence became unbearable. Chapter 5. The Receipts. Marcus rushed toward the stage. "Vanessa, stop!" She ignored him. "No, Marcus, you had 2 years to tell the truth." Nia slowly stood. Her heart pounded. "Wife?" Vanessa nodded. "Yes." Nia looked toward Marcus. His silence answered before his mouth could. The room erupted with whispers. Vanessa pressed a button on a remote. A giant screen behind her lit up. Photos appeared. Marcus and Vanessa at anniversary dinners, family vacations, holiday parties, wedding pictures, photos taken just months earlier. Then came another image. Marcus kissing Vanessa on New Year's Eve. A date stamp sat in the corner. 3 months ago, the same month Marcus had told Nia they were separated. Nia's stomach dropped. "No." Vanessa switched slides again. Text messages appeared, messages Marcus had sent both women side by side. The room collectively gasped. One text to Vanessa. "Love you, running late from a meeting." The exact same time-stamped message to Nia. "Love you, stuck in traffic." A nervous wave of laughter moved through the crowd. Marcus looked physically ill. Vanessa wasn't finished. "For 2 years, my husband maintained 2 separate lives." She looked at Nia. "You weren't the first." Another gasp. Nia's knees weakened. Vanessa pulled out a folder. "There were 3 women before you." The ballroom erupted. Marcus grabbed his head. This was no longer a baby shower. It was a public reckoning. Chapter 6. The Truth Hurts. For several moments, nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Then Nia turned toward Marcus. The happiness that had filled her face was gone. "You told me you were separated." Marcus swallowed. "Nia, you told me your marriage was over." "Nia, let me explain." "You told me she knew about me." Vanessa laughed. "Oh, I knew." The room laughed nervously with her. Nia looked ready to cry. Everything she had built in her mind began to collapse. The future, the promises, the family she thought she was creating, all of it, built on lies. Marcus reached for her hand. She pulled away. "Don't touch me." Vanessa watched quietly. For the first time all afternoon, her expression softened. Because she recognized something. Nia hadn't known everything. She'd known enough to make poor choices, but not enough to understand just how deep the deception went. Vanessa walked toward her. "Nia." The younger woman looked up. "You owe me nothing." The room became silent again. Vanessa continued. "But you owe yourself better than this man." Marcus looked shocked. The audience applauded. For the first time all afternoon, the applause wasn't for Nia. It was for Vanessa. Chapter 7. The Viral Moment. Within an hour, the clips were everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Millions of views appeared overnight. The internet couldn't get enough. Headlines exploded. Wife sponsors husband's mistress's baby shower. The most savage baby shower reveal ever. Wife exposes husband in front of influencers' followers. Marcus became the villain of the internet. His business received negative reviews. His phone wouldn't stop ringing. Clients canceled meetings, investors demanded explanations. Meanwhile, Vanessa remained silent. She issued no statements, gave no interviews, and posted nothing. She simply went home. Nia, however, disappeared. For 3 days, she posted nothing online. No stories, no videos, no pictures. Her followers grew concerned. Then on the fourth day, she finally uploaded a video. No makeup, no filters, no fancy lighting, just honesty. I was wrong. Millions watched. I believed a lie because it was easier than asking harder questions. Tears filled her eyes. I hurt another woman. She paused. And I hurt myself. The internet expected excuses. Instead, they got accountability. The video earned more respect than anything she'd ever posted. Chapter 8. The Divorce. After that day, Marcus spent weeks trying to save everything. His marriage, his reputation, his businesses, and his relationship with Nia. Nothing worked. Vanessa had already filed for divorce. The paperwork was waiting when he returned home from the baby shower. She had planned everything, every detail, every step, every outcome. Marcus finally realized the truth. The baby shower had never been only about humiliation. It had been about closure. Vanessa wasn't exposing him for revenge. She was exposing him because she was done. Months later, the divorce became official. Vanessa received a substantial settlement, several properties, and complete freedom. The thing Marcus feared losing most, he lost, her. Chapter 9. An Unexpected Friendship. 6 months later, Nia gave birth to a healthy baby girl. She named her Ava. Marcus attended the hospital, but his presence felt different now, smaller, quieter, less important, because Nia no longer viewed him as a hero, just a father. One afternoon, there was a knock at her door. Nia opened it and froze. Vanessa stood outside holding a gift bag. The two women stared at each other. Then Vanessa smiled. I come in peace. Nia laughed for the first time in weeks. Inside the bag were a handmade baby blanket, a card, and a simple note. For Ava. May she grow into a woman who never settles for half-truths. Love, Vanessa Nia cried, not because she was sad, but because forgiveness felt heavier than anger, and far more beautiful. Chapter 10. The Real Gift. A year later, Ava celebrated her first birthday. The guest list was small, family, close friends, and people who genuinely cared. No influencers, no sponsors, no cameras, and no performance. Just love. As Nia watched her daughter smash cake across her face, she realized something. The baby shower she had once considered the most embarrassing day of her life had actually been a gift. It had forced her to face reality, forced her to grow, and forced her to stop building her life around someone else's promises. Across town, Vanessa sat on a balcony overlooking the city. She smiled as she checked her phone. A new message appeared. It was a picture of Ava, covered in frosting and laughing. Attached was a single sentence from Nia. Thank you for saving me from a future built on lies. Vanessa smiled, then put her phone away. For the first time in years, she felt completely free. Epilogue. The brand deal nobody expected. Years later, people still talked about the baby shower. The videos remained online. The memes never disappeared. But what most people didn't know was what happened afterward. Vanessa launched a successful consulting business helping women rebuild after betrayal. Nia transformed her platform into one focused on self-worth, accountability, and healing. Together, they occasionally appeared at women's conferences, not as friends who shared a man, but as women who survived the same liar. Whenever audiences asked about the infamous baby shower, Vanessa always gave the same answer. It wasn't revenge, she'd smile. It was a reality check. Then Nia would laugh and add, and somehow it became the most successful brand partnership of my career. The audience would laugh, but it was true, because the sponsor she thought was paying for content had delivered something far more valuable, the truth. And unlike every other brand deal she had ever accepted, that gift changed her life forever, because sometimes the deal that costs you your image is the one that finally gives you your life back. What did you think about today's story? If you were Vanessa, would you have planned the surprise baby shower, or would you have handled the situation differently? Let me know in the comments below. I love reading your thoughts and hearing what you would have done. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new episode from LA's Listening Lounge. And if someone you know needs this reminder that the truth always comes to light, share this story with them. Thank you for spending time with me today. Until next time, remember, never build your future on someone else's promises. Build it on truth, self-worth, and the peace that comes from knowing your value. This is author L.A. Logan, and you've been listening to LA's Listening Lounge, where every story has a lesson and every ending is the beginning of something better. I'll see you in the next story.